Good afternoon, and thank you for taking time to join this webinar. In today's world, the internet, social media, mobile devices, and cloud computing are changing the IT landscapes at an incredible speed. Legacy applications continue to work in silos and restricts enterprise agility. Is it time to migrate these heritage applications? Welcome to this thought-provoking webinar on enterprise legacy application modernization. Today we have with us two very eminent speakers, Srinivasan Ranganathan, Practice Lead, and Kamlesh Shah, Program Manager from the Enterprise Modernization Practice at Zylog Systems. During the presentation, all the participants will be muted. You can submit your questions on the right-hand side of your screen using the chat window. We will answer some of the questions during the Q&A sessions, and also any questions and answers could be taken offline as well. Today's presentation will be recorded and posted on ZSL's TV and also on the webinar page. I would request Srinivasan to start the presentation. Over to you, Srini.
Thanks a lot, Nan. Hi, guys. Welcome to the webinar. This is about time to migrate enterprise legacy application modernization. So today we are going to cover the industry trends on application legacy modernization and capabilities of Zylog systems, and how we help our clients to bring a new lease of life to their existing legacy application. I would like to, before going forward, I would like to clear about what we are going to cover today in enterprise modernization. Enterprise modernization is a very big topic. What we are covering here is modernizing your IT application that run your enterprise, that is, move it from your legacy technology languages platform to the new technology languages and platform, so that it can be enabled over the web, integrated with other systems, can meet your latest SLAs, and could serve the enterprise for another decade or more than that. What we are not covering here is enterprise architecture, application portfolio consolidation, or identification of software services which closely model the business. So this webinar assumes that the above said process is already finished or not deemed necessary, and the application that needs to be migrated to the new technology is already identified. So we just want to clear what we are going to focus on this webinar. Okay. These are the two key speakers. Myself, Srinivasan Ranganathan, Practice Lead. I have about 15 years of experience architecting and developing enterprise solutions. I'm associated with Zylog for about 12 years. Another speaker is Kamlesh Shah, Program Manager, Zylog System. He has about 25 years of experience. And prior to working with Zylog, Kamlesh has worked in various management roles in the insurance and the financial industries. Okay, this is the agenda of today. We are going to give a brief introduction about Zylog Systems, its history. Then we are going to talk about the industry trends on modernization. What is the industry facing? What are the problems? What are the options they have, and what they should do? And we will talk about the Zylog's approach to legacy modernization. What do we bring to the table? How do we do it? And finally, the case study will be presented by Kamlesh Shah, which are some of the success stories of our legacy modernization. Okay, Zylog has been incorporated in 1996. And it's been 15 years, and we have seen some phenomenal growth, both organic and inorganic. And we are about 4,000 plus people with 400 million turnover. And we are located all across the globe, as you can see in this particular slide. We have a presence in North America, in Canada, and United States. We have presence in the Europe, London, Germany, France, and we have presence in Asia, in Middle East and Singapore, and our main offshore development center being in India, in Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. This is some of the partial list of our direct customers. So we have experience in many verticals like finance, insurance, retail, etc. And we are also aligned with some technology partners like IBM, Microsoft, and Oracle. And we have more than 400 plus software developer certifications, which are split across these many areas to enable our clients to meet their projects. Okay, these are our core competencies. We do custom software development. We do legacy application modernization, which we are going to talk about today. We also provide independent software testing, where we can test your software, write scripts. We also do application product development. Okay, so let's move to the second section topic of today. Is what is the industry trends? What is the industry facing? So these are some statistics. Gartner has predicted by the end of 2010, more than 1/3 of the application project will arise for tackling old technology and skills. And it also says that the IT modernization cannot be addressed as a short-term panic response project. What it means is that over the period of years, all these legacy applications have been developed. They are large, they are complex, they are interconnected, maybe manually or automatically, and they are doing the process of business today. So when you are giving a new lease of life to it, it's not just a short-term project. It needs a wholehearted commitment from the IT management as well as the business clients. It also says that the modernization is needed for IT systems, as the services are too slow to respond in a fast enough manner. So when these applications was built, probably more than 2 decades ago, it was a sea change in how the business was run. Some of the processes which used to take weeks or days were reduced to hours and minutes, and that was a welcome change at that point of time. And with today's technology, with today's reach to the market, the minutes and hours are very slow, and the response time is needed in seconds and probably in some cases milliseconds. So, and the reach has gone from the customer support personnel directly to the hands of the business partners or the customers. So it is very important that your solutions or applications respond in a pretty fast manner. So, and the legacy applications in some cases cannot do that until you go and modernize it. Okay, and also the IT department has historically tried to squeeze as much as possible from the older system, try to get as much as of ROI possible, until they kind of hit a wall where it is necessary to modernize. Okay, so how do you basically figure out if your project or the application has reached your end of life? Actually, there are many pointers to that. Basically, your maintenance cost goes up. You find difficult to hire resources because those technologies are outdated and very few resources out in the market and who are nearing retirement. You have to frequently upgrade the software because your vendor is upgrading it or considering removing the support for the version of that language software which it is being running on. It is too slow. There are a lot of business competitors who have developed in the latest technology, and they are quite fast. They can quite reach out to the mobile devices, to web and things. You have architectural inflexibility where you are not able to automatically integrate with your business partners. So here are a couple of pointers which will easily help you identify if your project has reached the end of life and you need to invest in remodernizing it. Okay. So what are the options available if you figure out that your application has reached the end of life? We have figured out about 4 options. One is redesign and rewrite. And actually, there is no one solution for all. It depends upon each and every client and its requirement. So when would you do a redesign rewrite? You would do a redesign rewrite basically when your application is no longer able to support your business processes, where you need to find new ways of doing business, Which means, as I said earlier, you might have to start with enterprise architecture, try to figure out what all the services you want to model, and closely model your applications towards the business services. And your legacy applications as of today is outdated, and you are forced to do that just because your software is written that way. In that case, you would do a redesign rewrite, which means it's a brand new custom application. It has to go through full SDLC, and you can use the latest technology and architecture available, but you need to go through the full requirement phase starting from there on. The second option is replacement modernization, which is the theme for this particular webinar. This is where your software legacy application still meets today's business processes. This is how you do business till today. You do not want to change it. It's just that it is written in the old language, old technology, where it is not able to scale, it is not able to reach to new media, it's not able to reach over the web, it is slow, or you are not able to integrate automatically with the upstream or downstream systems or your business partners. So that's when you would do replacement and modernization, where your IP of doing the business is still intact in your old application. The third option is enhancement. So what you do in enhancement is just you still have your old application. You basically wrap it with the new application with a new UI, but you still call on to the old application, maybe through web services or some other enterprise integration. So it means that you are still developing and maintaining your code in your old technology. It's the least effort. It saves you a lot of money, but it does not solve you all your problems. It's still like putting a lipstick on a pig. You still have your performance issues. You still have your integration issues and all those things. And the fourth option is the commercial product, which is off the shelf. But you need to be very careful when you choose a commercial product. It's basically, you need to make sure that it can model your business, and you don't have to end up changing your business process to suit your software, to suit you the capabilities of the cards. So the main theme for this particular webinar is replacement modernization, where you have your IP and we will help you in modernizing the platform to meet the new demands with the old IP processes. Okay, so why would you modernize? You would basically modernize because you want to protect your investment made in the legacy application. The algorithms, the logic, the processes are still the same, the way you do business. Maybe there is a slight change, but in the whole heart, it's still the same way you do the business. It delivers a brand new application. It's like deployed with a new architecture, new code, so it can be easily maintained, it can be easily integrated, and it can have another decade or 2 decades of life till something radically new comes up, and probably you might want to modernize it yet again. It provides flexibility, capability, new technology platform. It's a low risk because you are not starting from your requirement and have a risk of not doing the application the way the business expected it, not meeting the business needs. You already have an application which meets the business needs, and you are just modernizing it. And you minimize the business disruption. The training the users have to go through is minimum when compared to the other options available. Okay, this is just a small table which tells you different options and what is the adaptability to change, what is the risk involved, and what's the cost involved. If you see here, if you're modernizing and extending, which means enhance, basically the adapt to change is low. The risk is high because some of the problems will still be the same, but the cost is low. If you see the Modernize, Migrate, that's what we are right now covering. The adapt to change is high, the risk is low, and the cost is medium. So it will definitely be more than enhancement, but the cost is medium. The other costs are normally high and the risks are high. Okay, so how do you say that, okay, I want to go with the modernization? How do you decide it? Basically, you need to calculate an ROI, expected ROI, and it basically depends upon the cost of maintenance going down, the development hours of new enhancements going down, the risk is low, and you are able to get the productivity of the new language. You are able to extend it, reach out to new mobile and web and all the things. And you can do component reuse. You can move towards service-oriented architecture in the long run. So you can calculate both your direct ROI and indirect ROI for you to modernize the application. Okay, so this ends the second section where we cover about the industry trends and when you need to modernize and what are the options available. So now, let's dive into the Zylog's approach to enterprise modernization. What do we bring to the table? How do we differentiate it? And how do we uniquely present so that we can give a success story for our client applications and give it a new lease of life? Okay, so our motto is that we need 3 main ingredients to make the modernization a success story. We need the right people, we need the right tools, and the right people and the right tools should flow into the right processes so that you have a hold on in each and every phase of what is going on, and you can modernize your application. You can take your functionality from the old technology to the new one as is and give it a new lease of life. So what do we mean by people? Basically, we have well-experienced pool of resources. We have a pool of resources who are well experienced in legacy technologies, like to name a few, like Power Builder, Delphi, FoxPro, Oracle Forms, etc. So these people don't have just the knowledge about the legacy applications, but these people are the people who basically developed the applications for a decade or more ago, where they made their career in these applications, they brought it to production, they maintain those applications, so they know all about how those applications are built and how those applications are coded, what to look for, where to look for. And we also have experienced pool of resources in the latest technology like Java, .NET, mobile applications, business intelligence, where these legacy technologies will be transformed into. So these people are experienced in building those enterprise applications, maintaining them, and designing them with service-oriented architecture in mind, and giving a good quality code standards. And on top of these two, we also have these pool of resources which we just talked about, experienced in legacy modernization. So basically, they have been spending for the last 5 to 10 years migrating legacy applications to these new technologies. So they know how to map these applications from the old technologies to the new one, which one goes where, what are the things which we can move over as is, what are the things which we have to take the functionality of the new one, enablement of the new applications, like internationalizations are done in a different way 20 years back and today. So they are experienced in mapping it and converting a legacy application to the new technology. And they also can make suggestions and identify potential issues during migration. So what I mean by this is normally the legacy applications are 2-tier applications. So when you move a 2-tier application to 3-tier application, there are a lot of things that does not fit well. The 2-tier applications, you might be doing a lot of processing, and since they are done in the client desktop, it's okay. But when you move it to the server side, there are a lot of times you need to change something, you need to introduce caching, you need to sometimes make changes to the screen so that you bring 20 at a time, because it's enabled over the internet. You have limited bandwidth, limited resources, limited memory. So we are well experienced with our past decade experience in transforming applications to identify the potential issues before going to production, and making those changes while we are doing the development, so that you don't go to production and figure those problems, learn from those problems, then correct those. We have already learned that for the past few years. Okay, so we talked about one ingredient. The second ingredient is being the tools. So what are the different tools we have? These are the three different set of tools. We don't have one single tool for each for all the legacy languages. We have a list of tools which we have done over the years. They have some intersections, and some tools are unique in certain ways, so we would use them when needed. So they are categorized into three main groups. Smart Price Analyzer. What it helps us to do is analyze the legacy application source code and give us various metrics to assess the application and complexity. One of the main challenges we have is when we go to a prospect and we identify an application to be transformed, we need to quickly understand about the application and ask as minimum questions as possible to the client and get as much information from the source code as it is available there. So we have, over the period of time, had analyzers which is going to scan the source code and collect various metrics which will quickly identify the different aspects of the application, its integration points, its capabilities, so that it can help our resources much better to look into the source code if some more information is needed manually to rightly focus on the right areas. So that's what Smart Price Analyzer does. We have the second group of tools, which is Smart Price Estimator, which will take those metrics from the Smart Price Analyzer and do an automatic estimation to say how much effort it is going to take to migrate this application. So it's not a one solution that would fit all. This is where our experienced resource will come in, have input some values into the estimator, change some numbers so that it suits to the target technology also. So it could be Java, JSF, iPhases, Prime Phases. So depending upon the target technology, they will change some of those numbers or factors. Then the estimator will estimate how much time it's going to take, and then it's assessed to make sure that the estimation is right. We have a third set of tools, which is the main one, which is the Smart Price Migrator. What the Smart Price Migrator does is it analyzes the source code, parses it, converts into an intermediary language, which could be an XML or a proprietary language. Then it is then taken from there and converted into the target technology language, which could be Java, .NET, and even it comes to Java, it could be JSF, JSPs, iPhases, Hibernate, Spring. So there are a lot of technologies available. So depending upon a particular client situation, we would be able to quickly transform into the target language. And we do not have 100% migration, automatic migration. It takes pieces of it which can be converted, and there are certain things which are still done manually. And every piece of code which is generated, even automatically, is reviewed by a person manually. I will go through all the processes which will explain you better. So, but the Smart Price Migrator helps us to give a kickstart. It increases our productivity, reduces the time taken to migrate, and it also improves the quality, and also it increases that your IP is transformed as is, so that we do not lose some of the code or some of the business processes. Okay, so I'll be spending more time here to explain what our modernization process is all about. So as I told you, the first two ingredients is people and tools. They flow into this modernization process. So the first phase is assessment. And if you see at the bottom of it, they are all the sub-tasks. So what we do in the first phase is to get a complete hold, complete understanding of the current application and how it is going to be mapped to the target technology and the target platform. So we set up the application in our location, we analyze the source code, we calculate metrics, we have our experienced resources understand those metrics, go into the Power Builder, to the legacy application, and kind of look through and understand everything about that application. And it is also manual because in our experience we have seen that every application is different. There is something different, and if we do not catch that different, it would be too late, and we would probably miss it or either get it too late where it might be costly for us to make that change. So we completely analyze the application, we produce documentations, We also get the artifacts what are available from the clients, even though it is not necessary that you have all the documentation. We understand that the applications are a decade or more old. They have little or no documentation, but we can help recreate those documentation based on our understanding of the application, based on our running the application, looking at the source code. So we will recreate all those artifacts as much as possible so that you can then convert that to the target technology. All these will be given to the clients where they will sign it off. So we will inspect, analyze. We will also map out the target architecture. There are at times where the clients already have other applications running in the same technology, so they have standardized in their technology libraries and all those things. So we are open, we take those libraries and we incorporate that into our architecture. There are certain times our clients want suggestions. That's when we can suggest them what to use and which will be beneficial for that particular situation. So that's phase one, is to get complete hold of what the current application is and a complete understanding of how your target is going to be. The second phase is the preparation phase, and the subtasks are given below. What we essentially do here is planning. We do the necessary resource loading. We also set up all our softwares which we are needed for the SDLC, like source control, quality control, all our QA tools, everything we set it up. We do the trial parsing of the Smart Price Migrator, that's the third group. The first two tools, Smart Price Analyzer and Smart Price Estimator, is used in the phase one. In the phase 2 and 3, we use the Smart Price Migrator. So the Smart Price Migrator, we will start to do a trial run. We will try to adjust our templates. We'll make sure that we are able to parse the code. We know the target technology and the libraries involved. So at times, we'll have to change the templates. Since we have this intermediate free language, which is our biggest strength, we convert that into the target by some XSLs or some kind of a template-driven approach where we could easily change the template to uniquely fit to a particular situation and start generating code. There are times we'll first write the code the way we want to with all the standards in it, then use that as a template to drive the XSL coding and all our template coding so that it can start generating that code. So we increase our productivity as we go on in a faster mode, and they are being reviewed by all the resources, the coding resources. So phase 2 is all about setting up to start the work, making sure everything is perfect so that you can go for a sprint run once we go into phase 3. Okay, so phase 3. So what do we do in phase 3? This is where the bulk of the work is done. This is where the old code is parsed into intermediate language. It is transformed, and we build in snippets. There are times the whole code is transformed. There are times we don't want to take the old dead code from the legacy applications. So we take functionality by functionality, a vertical slice at a time. We identify those codes in the legacy application, then use our migrator to convert it and put that into the new IDE and start building it, start testing it, inserting that into the source control, putting in the work item management, and work according to the plan. The fourth phase is the refactor phase. And all these phases are not distinct enough, so it's that the one phase completes and the other phase starts. There are overlaps. There are our developers who do phase 3 and phase 4 for a vertical slice, then go back to another vertical slice and do the phase 3 and phase 4 again. What is phase 4 refactoring? Phase 4 is all about refactoring it. So what we do is we do not want the code to be written in Java or .NET, but once you go and look at it, it being designed in the legacy application way, like a FoxPro way or a Power Builder way. We want it to be, the standards to be aligned to the new platform. It should look as if it has been rewritten new, not not migrated some automated tool. So this is where we change the function names, we rearrange the classes, we rename the variables. There are times some things are done better in the target technology, or there are certain libraries available inbuilt, which in legacy you have to do all on your own, like linked list and all those things. So we will go and refactor the code, understand each and every code which is automatically generated by the tool. Then we go and convert it so that we can have a scalable application, we can have a secure application, it can conform to the architecture which we finalized on phase 1. Phase 1 will say what all the things we are going to use. We are going to use Hibernate, we might use caching, so we might use internationalization, we might have security. So all these things would be done in the target technology best practices way. So this is where we do refactoring. Phase 5 is modernization. What we do in phase 5 is have new functionalities where we might want to integrate with upstream or downstream system, or we want to integrate with an old legacy application which is not part of the scope, but it's flowing into the old application. So this is where new functionality or integration is taken up where it is not part of the current application. Phase 6 is testing. We do a variety of testing, and depending upon the work which has been identified in phase 1 with the client. So this is where we do functional tests, like-to-like testing to make sure that the legacy application and the new application works exactly the same, the numbers match. So we have our experienced testing team who will have both application and do a like-to-like testing. We do scalability testing if needed. We do performance testing. We do security testing. We do integration testing, and we also support our clients for UAT testing, where they can give us the bugs and we'll fix it and we'll give back the new deployable. Then finally, the phase 7, this is where we do the build management, we do the release management, we help release in production, we help support that, and we also we can maintain it, we can do future enhancements, and also we help our clients to give the control to them so that they can start maintaining it from there on, where they can start changing the code, they can do future releases. Okay. So this is all about our 7-phase modernization process, which is a well-thought-out process and which has been changed over the years based on our practice, based on our learnings, to make sure that we touch upon every aspect of SDLC and modernization so that we don't miss anything. Okay, so this is just another view of the same 7-phase approach, where we kind of show all the languages, source and target, and the tooling involved here. So on the left side, you see all the languages, which legacy applications which we support, which we have resources, which we have the tools, or we have the process around it. So the capabilities for each of the legacy languages are different, because the legacy languages are different, 4GLs and 3GLs and all those things. So the tools and the capabilities might not exactly be the same, but the end product you get with all the three combined will be the same for all the legacy applications which we support. Okay, then we have the stage 2, the parser templates workbench. Stage 3, and we also are well experienced in IBM rational toolings, Oracle toolings, Eclipse, open source, and all those things. And on the target side, we are experienced, to name a few, Java, C#, .NET, and even when it comes to Java, it could be ADF, it could be SOA, it could be any of the rich internet platform, rich internet applications. So, and also BIs. So if there are some reporting in the legacy applications, we can help to move that to the new BI standards, whatever the clients have. Okay, so this just gives a comparison based on our experience, that when you do a manual migration without our tooling, so this kind of tells what is the benefit if you do the rewrite. That's when you do the complete SDLC starting from requirements, or do a manual migration, or use the migration using our smart price tools. So this is how much we think our clients would save, and each and every client is of course different, but this is the ballpark. This is shows that how much time you basically save in the migration, if you could see here, and how much you save in testing, because the automation helps us a lot, increase the productivity and increase the quality and decrease the bugs found in the application. Okay. This is another slide which talks about the smart price analyzer, estimator, and the migrator. We have talked much about it. So let's move forward. Okay, so I'm just giving a few screenshots. No, this is not exhaustive enough because there are too many to show. And so this is a screenshot of how we do the estimation, or how we do the analysis. So this is a screenshot of a Power Builder application. So each PBL file is being analyzed. We put that into events, functions, external functions, line of script, sub-objects. So we calculate a lot more metrics. We even know how many columns you have, how many variables you have in each of those files, and what are the external DLLs which it integrates to. So there are a lot more things which we collect, and this is just one snapshot of how much information which we collect. And it also if you see on the right-hand side, it has calculated the time it would take to migrate using our Smart Price Migrator. So this is another screenshot which kind of gives you a summary of the estimation report for a Power Builder application. Okay, so this is another view where it shows a two-tier application migration. We use the Smart Price Migrator, and we split that into three-tier when you are moving towards the web. So we are well experienced in identifying the portions of it which will go to the web, like JSP, JSF, or ASP.NET, and the other pieces of it which will go into the backend pieces, the backend classes, or the data objects, or the DAL classes, the data access layers, and the database logic. So if you have seen the legacy applications normally have everything in one, and our tools will automatically help us to split those and create source codes in those three tiers, and also our pool of people are experienced enough to go look into it and pick up something which has been left by the tools. Okay, so this is another slide which kind of shows all the source languages and all the target languages. It kind of gives you a picture about all the reports, third-party tools, frameworks which we support, which we are experienced in, and if there is anything new which comes up, we can quickly latch on to it, because all our employees are experienced in all these libraries, so that they know how to pick up the new ones, which probably is a client standard, and support that. Okay, and this is another important piece. So what we call as the right shore approach. So when our clients are in UK or US, we basically follow this model where we have a few people at the customer side if needed 24/7, like in the sense throughout the project, or they travel to the customer site when needed. And we also have a regional office in that location, so that our clients can call in whenever they need, not that we are in India or somewhere and they need to have overlap timing where they can call us. So we have this local office, and also we have our global delivery center in Chennai, where we do most of our outsourcing, which will help you to reduce the cost but give you the presence on site. So it's the right shore model which will help you save the cost, but also we will be reliable and available for all the queries and all the concerns of our clients. Okay, so what does all these processes which talked about does? How does it help the client? Basically, this is some of the things which we have done, which we have heard our clients say, that 30 to 50% of the time and effort is involved is saved when we do the automatic migration compared to the manual rewrite. This is the productivity which our tools gives us. There are times which we go even more than 50%. So we have all over the place how much productivity we get, but this is the normal range which we normally get. So all your IP is still intact. We have almost impeachable record of success rates. when it comes to migration. We also help our clients even enhance their application. So once they move to the new platform, make it service-oriented architecture, we help them in doing cloud enablement if they want, and the total cost of ownership has been slashed by 40%, and ROI is doubled in a short span. So there are a lot of benefits which our clients get by our services of modernization. Okay, and this is a very small topic. I will cover quickly. There are certain slides. I don't want to go in detail into that. But when you do a legacy application modernization, there are times where you have your database in your legacy, like maybe in Sybase, or maybe as a Fox Pro database, or maybe in an old version of Oracle or DB2, and sometimes you want to convert from Oracle to DB2 or DB2 to Oracle, or you want to just make your version to the latest version. So there are times we have found this legacy application comes with database migration from one vendor to another vendor. So we are well experienced in doing the database migration also. So we do a complete database migration, including all indexes, stored procedures, functions, packages, and the schema from one database to another database. It might sound as a simple task. So, but we have again a process around it. These are all the database which we have experienced in, which we support, and any new database, any old database, we can quickly take that and change that into the sourced database. The target database. So what is it that is difficult with the database migration? The database migration, basically converting the DDLs, and we use a lot of tools, automated tools available. There are many available in the market also. So it's just not the tools. It's just the whole process. This is where you want to make sure that every row, every column of your old data has been migrated to the new database. And you have to do that over a weekend. Basically, your old system is still running. You need to do enough planning and everything so that when you switch off to the new application, you basically have to deploy your new code, your new application, then do the database migration, everything in a weekend. So we have this 10-step process where we go through a very detailed manner. We make sure that every stored procedure, every code, every row, every column has been transformed. It's not like you lost your phone number and your phone number just went null in just one column. So we do a detailed work to make sure that you have error-free database migration, and you can do that, or we will help you do that over the weekend or when you are going live, that all the data as of that date will be transformed into the new database. So I don't want to go over each and every step in detail because this is not the main focus of this webinar. So, but this is just, I just want to show you how detailed we do it. Okay, so and we used a lot of tools, and many of the tools probably is not homegrown. There are a lot of tools available on the market. We just use the right tools for the right process, and there are certain unique tools which we have on top of those tools to make sure that we get the work done in the right way. Okay, that ends my presentation piece of it. Over to you to Kamlesh for the case study.
Thank you, Srini, for this very powerful presentation. Participants, if you have any questions, we shall take it at the end of this session. Moving on, Kamlesh will take us through one of the modernization project we have carried out here in the United Kingdom for one of the high street retailers. Kamlesh, over to you.
Thank you, Nanda. Right. So I'm just going to take a small amount of your time just to showcase you, this is a good example of a successful business, a successful retail business who realized a cost of doing nothing. Some of the things Srini mentioned earlier, why do people modernize and so on. So here is a business which actually was struggling because they were doing nothing. So Srini, just please move on to the next slide. Our client is one of the UK's largest retailer who is selling goods to customer on credit. This client has a business which is a recession-proof business. They have over 200 high street stores, and they're actually making money, more money in recession than in normal times. The business growth is exponential, but they had a problem. So next slide, please. What was their problem? So back in 2008, the client realized that their current system was the one that was restricting their growth. It was actually stopping them growing. Here is IT technology which is restricting a business growing. They identified that they had outgrown their legacy application. They had implemented a distributed point-of-sale system throughout their stores. Originally, the system was set up to support a small number of stores, but over time, the same system was rolled out as the business was growing and expanding. Each store had its isolated hardware and software installed. The store could pretty much manage their business totally isolated from any other stores. Very good model for their time. Very resilient. If a store was down or a central system was down, didn't affect any other stores. Individual stores could carry on process as they were moving forward. But as they were growing their business, what happened was they had to start putting other processes around it, centralized processes around it, so that they can control the business, they can monitor the business, they can exchange information between stores and so on. They put up backup, replication, reconciliation processes towards their centralized database overnight, which would then give them also management information and so on to move the business forward. Now, this environment over time got very expensive to maintain. Opening new stores, as an example, was a costly process. It would take them almost 6 weeks to initiate a new store, because by the time the hardware is delivered, the software is installed, it's configured, and so on. So every store required a 6 weeks elapsed time to actually get up and running. The application also started imposing certain limitations. Again, the way it was configured, and also not just that, also the way the business is now conducted. People are more open, people are moving around a lot more around the country and so on. So the application, and the client found that the application was actually not giving them the single customer view. They had a very difficulty trying to manage a customer as a unique customer in their organization. Customer transfers from one store to another became very difficult. Payment collections, if a customer goes and tries to make a payment in a different store, which is not his normal store, again, start posing restrictions. Purchasing goods, even purchasing goods in a different store, the customer had to be set up in a different store, reprocessed, and then they can purchase goods. So it started getting very difficult for the client to manage their business. Their debt management went out of control, mainly because the payments can't be collected in different stores. So in general, they had a very poor customer service. This gave the client a compelling reason to look at the modernization. So they started investigating some of those points that Srini mentioned earlier, looking at different options. The costs was one of the things they considered first. So they looked at number of package solutions, but very soon they realized that they had a unique business model, and the reason it was so profitable and recession-proof was because the way they were using the application to manage their stores. So costs were very much ruled out. It didn't provide them the customer application that they needed. They also surveyed a number of industries to modernize. And then they chose Zylog mainly because of its modernized practice, modernized processes, and also particularly because Zylog had experienced resources in legacy application that they were running. Next slide, please. So what was the opportunities? So opportunities for Zylog was, our core objective here was to take the legacy application and transform it into the latest technology. To provide the client with a centralized environment, centralized web environment, which is very user-friendly, easy to use, and it should support the client's business and growth plans. Right. Next slide, please. One of the approaches, approach we took is we took the right shoring model that Srini mentioned earlier. Initially, we commissioned a very low-cost POC for the client. We had a 5-week study just to prove that the approach, the target technology, will work for the client's unique requirements. As part of the POC, within these 5 weeks, we firmed up, we finalized the approach, we finalized the objectives, we finalized the requirements, and we also reverse engineered their existing application, and we produced a detailed technical document which we reviewed with the client, and we got the client to confirm that that's exactly what their current system is, and that's exactly what they're looking for in the new system. Following this, we then engaged on an 11-month modernization project to take the whole application, legacy application, and deliver a incorporating, functionally based, including business changes, all the pieces, all the enhancements that the client needed, and deliver them a modern application which can also coexist with the legacy application. This coexisting was very important for the client because the aim for the client was they wanted to roll over the application through all of their branches, not as a big bang, but as a gradual process. So again, some of these points were brought in, were well understood beforehand, and once we were engaged, the application was delivered. The full rollover took place back in 2009, November 2009, and they were ready for their Christmas sales and also ready for their 2010 business plans. So the restrictions that they were posed by back in 2008 basically stopped them growing and opening any new stores. By end of 2009, they were ready to open as many stores as they wanted. Next slide, please. So the results. So we took a decentralized legacy store application and delivered a centralized system. Centralized system was user-friendly, rich, robust, and full functional. We provided them a stable and a scalable platform to support their ambitious growth plans. We removed the system constraints of opening new stores. The new store can now be opened within minutes. It's just a matter of setting it up on the system. The whole application is available on the web. So as long as you got a web link, you got a terminal, your store is live and running. Customers transfers now are just a simple click. It's just a field change on the system. Making payments in any store is instantaneous. There's no need to transfer customers between stores. They can just go into the new store and open up. Next slide, please. So the benefits, the big savings that the client realized was purely on the technology cost itself. Prior to migrating this application, the client had, if you can imagine, each store had a hardware and a software, had to have a database license, had to have the hardware support set up. So just taking something like 200 stores, you can soon realize the amount of cost they were spending. All this hardware, all this software, all these licenses were no longer needed. It was all centralized, so there was only one central system set up, one central hardware, one central license. In addition, obviously, there was the testing license and the development license, but comparatively, you're only talking about a few licenses now. So since the migration, the client has started to now implement the internet and mobile channels for their sales and payment collection. This wasn't possible in the old technology, so now they've got a rich technology where they can start doing these kind of things. They've also implemented a robust credit scoring system now, so their debt management is totally down. They've implemented self-serving terminals now in the stores. Again, that wasn't possible because of the security and so on. But now the new technology has given them that secure environment where they can do these kind of things. And now they're actually investigating in selling other things like insurance. So linking up with insurance companies, linking up with underwriters, having their own insurances which they can sell with the products. In July of this year, the client actually announced that they have now opened 50 more stores, which is 230 stores since we implemented the application. And they've also done an independent study, and they've identified that the current application now will support them to be able to open well over 650 stores. So they have actually set their target now for 2014 to have 640 stores UK-wide. So the client, the other important thing is the client has maintained full ownership of the modern application. So the modernized application, again, they have the full IP rights, they have the source code, they fully control that application, same as how they were controlling the legacy application. So yeah, that's another huge benefit that they've gained from this process. Next slide, please. So just to sum up, in addition to positive feedbacks from the executives and the project management team from the client organization, here are some of the quotes that we've received from the end user community themselves when they first started using the system.
Thank you, Kamlesh, for this really a thought-provoking case study. I'm sure the participants who are hearing will certainly see the value, and undoubtedly it is time for these legacy applications to move on and embrace the newer technologies and platform. The lines have been unmuted, and if there are any specific questions the participants might have, we would be happy to take them. All right. I would like to thank everyone again for joining us on today's webinar. This webinar will be posted on ZSL's TV as well as on the web page. However, for any additional questions, please do feel free to email to us anytime at saleseurope@zsl.com. It's saleseurope@zsl.com. Or you could always call our UK office number. That's +44 207 954 4250. I repeat, +44 207 954 4250. Thank you and have